Hi, my name is Avery Levin, and this is my presentation on speedcubing: the good, the bad, the nerdy. So look at these three celebrities right here: Carson Beck, Chris Pratt, and Justin Bieber. What do these three men have in common aside from being famous? Something that you may not know is that all of these men share a common love for the 1980s plastic toy puzzle, the Rubik's Cube. The speedcubing, which is the act of solving a Rubik's Cube in as little time as possible, is governed by the World Cube Association. They regulate 17 different events for 11 different puzzles, and over 250,000 competitors have competed in these competitions, hailing from 100 different countries. At the time of writing this, the world record holder was Californian Max Park, who set the world record time with a blisteringly fast time of 3.13 seconds. And there are actually events that are timed in different ways, such as fewest moves. The head ref of Sri Lanka set the fewest moves record over the summer. However, his solutions were suspicious, and after an investigation by the disciplinary committee, the record was taken away from him. Now, ironically, after all of this, he still had a world record to his name. However, it was for the longest span ever issued to somebody in a competition. So he certainly got something out of this in the end. So let's talk about how I got here as a speedcuber. In 2018, I first discovered speedcubing and watched videos about it, but I never actually learned how to solve the cube. But in 2022, I heard something about it again. I bought a cube and I learned how to solve it. I was averaging at around 1 minute and 30 seconds at the time. In March of 2023, I went to my first competition, and now after 17 different competitions, I am ranked top 40 in the state and am qualified to compete in the World Championships over the summer, so I'm really excited about that. Let's go back to the good. The speedcubing community is one of the best communities I've ever been a part of. It's incredibly accepting, it's incredibly diverse. Everybody is really helpful at competitions. In fact, when I was at the North American Championship last year and I couldn't make it to the photo for speedcubers in the region, my friends actually photoshopped me in, so I am eternally grateful for that. So let's talk about the nerdy, the technical aspects of a solve. Contrary to popular belief, speedcubers cannot solve the entire cube right when looking at it. We get 15 seconds of inspection at the competition level, and usually for somebody at my level, I am planning around 8 to 10 moves in inspection. And some of the moves you're doing, especially at the beginning, are completely intuitive, while once you're later in the solve, you're just executing rote sequences of moves known as algorithms. So speedcubing actually has multiple different benefits for the mind that have been observed by the BBC. First, solving the cube at least in your mind, is a sense of bringing chaos to order, unsolved to solved. And the social aspect of the cubing community has also been shown to help mentally. And the feeling of mastery of doing something that for most people seems impossible is also beneficial. And overall, speedcubing is a fun activity that has its benefits. In fact, it has a practical application too. American Olympian Stephen Nedorostik, who's widely considered to be one of the best pommel horsers of his time, actually cubes every time before he does his routine. And this is what he did to get a bronze medal. He can actually be seen cubing before his routines. He averages around 15 seconds. He's been doing it for a while. So, yeah. So if you are to take away one thing from this presentation, it is to challenge yourself. In the early 1900s, we never thought humans would be able to fly, but in 1908, the Wright brothers built the first plane. In 1950, we never thought that we'd be able to go to space, but in the 60s, we were landing on the moon. So when you think of the Rubik's Cube, you think it's something that's completely impossible. You think it's an enigma. But the Wright brothers thought flying was an enigma. NASA thought going to space was an enigma. So you can do the cube if you put your mind to it. And this will be your going to space. It will be your building the first airplane. And you will get accomplishments out of that. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.